Christian living today.
Testing. Oh, there we go. Welcome to our show today. Excuse me, my throat is gone. Today we have a great show for you on Christian Living Today. But last week, if you guys remember, we were talking about who among us are donkeys that got confused. It went way over everyone's head. So anyway, today, we've got a few guests. We're going to talk to them about Christian living, and hopefully we can gain some messages from them. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first guest, Sean.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to our show today. Can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I'm 14, I'm 5'11", I'm in 9th grade and I go to Christopher High. I was born in Kaiser Permanente, San Jose, and I live in Gil right now. And I like to play basketball.
Cool. Thank you very much. That's what they're there for.
Oh, thank you.
So that's awesome. Next question. Other than a Bible character, who is one of your favorite Christian role models?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think I'd have to choose Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry?
Yes.
On the Warriors?
Yeah.
Why did you choose him?
Well, he prays every single time before he plays a game, and if you look at his shoes, it says, "I can do all things," and that's apart from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Cool. That's very cool. Now in your school life, can you talk about areas where you feel you are able to use your various gifts that God has given you?
Like I said, I like to play sports, so I feel like the athletic ability I have is like one gift that God has given to me, and I'm thankful to Him for that. And another thing is like skills, like communication to my fellow classmates and all of them. And if they need help with homework, I help them. And the hard work mentality He's given to me, and I use that when I'm at school, so I never give up.
Never give up.
I'll never give up.
Awesome.
Always try.
All right, so now transitioning into your Christian life, what are some things you would like to work on in the coming days in your Christian life?
Oh, well, I just want to work on getting closer to God, like being around Him, and like I have to go to a lot of basketball games. So between that and me, I want to like go to God and like pray and say thank you for helping me make the team and for helping me play good. And I just like want to get closer to Him in a way.
Very good. So, if you had to make one request from the church body, what would that request be?
Well, I just hope the church gives me opportunities around to help and to help me get closer to God and myself, and to give me ways that I could have like our own like place that I can just go and pray and just like be closer to God in general.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, Sean.
No problem.
Now let's move on to our next guest. Please help me give a warm welcome to Sharon. Hello, Sharon.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. Can you also tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Hello. I'm Sharon. I'm 15 years old. I'm a sophomore in high school. I was born in LA. I've lived here and gone to this church for most of my life. I'm not like him at all. I don't like exercise.
Hi, Sharon.
So Sharon, for you, I'd like to ask, what is your favorite Bible verse and why?
I think my favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 40:31. It has a sentimental value to me because it's one of the first things I learned. And my mom made up a Malayalam song for it that I still sing sometimes when I think about it. But it also reminds me that I have to trust in God to renew my strength.
A Malayalam song?
No.
No? Okay. Maybe next time. So, are there any differences between you and your peers?
So, most of the children here will probably experience it, but being a Malayali Christian growing up here, it's pretty difficult just because you have to, abide to different standards than most of your peers. I've never been able to dress the way my friends dress, talk the way they talk, listen to the things they do. And it's always been a struggle for me to be that different from everyone.
And so you touched upon it, but if you can talk about it some more, how has that contributed to the struggles that you face?
I think sometimes I feel like I'm all by myself in being different because there's no other Malayali Christians at my school. And especially for me growing up when Amu wasn't at home anymore, I couldn't really talk to anyone because they hadn't gone through those experiences, and I didn't feel like, people were there for me and I felt supported.
Same question for you that I asked you on earlier. In your Christian life in the coming days, what are some areas that you'd like to work on?
So like him also, I'd like to grow in Christ this year. Whether that means doing a daily devotion or setting apart specific times in the day, doing the Bible. I want to grow in Christ and be filled with the Holy Spirit.
Very good. What advice would you give to our younger kids in the church?
So I know that most of you are too young to understand or have experienced this, but in the future you are that's how it is. You're going to be different from your peers. And I think it's important that you embrace that difference because, it's who you are. You're a Malayali Christian and that's good for you. I also think it's important that you learn to talk about your problems with your peers so that you feel like you have a support group. There are people who understand what you're going through. You won't feel so alone all the time.
Cool. Hopefully our younger audience was able to hear that. Also, same question. If you were to ask the church for one request, what would that be?
So I think maybe, as Malayali parents from India, a lot of you think our insecurities as being different in school are probably silly, because you grew up in a place where, everybody was like you, same morals, same values. But I think it's important that you try to understand your children's insecurities in the future because it's going to be really hard, I guarantee it. So I think it's important that you talk to them, try to support them and try to help them through their struggles.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Now, let's move on to our final guest this evening in our show, and please give a warm welcome to Sanju. Hello, Sanju.
Hello.
Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for calling me here.
I see you had a very busy day. Can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
I'm 13 years old from San Jose, California. I go to Dartmouth Middle School and I was born in LA.
Cool. Can you describe how you became a Christian?
I was born and raised in a Christian family and they taught me a lot about what I know about Christ today. And I also have a wonderful spiritual community that helps me and hears me when I'm in trouble or need help.
I think that's a very common story for many of us Christians here today. Now, in your school life, what are areas that you feel pressure?
Well, I guess that when we take school tests or exams, sometimes my friends would like to talk about it or would like to say what they did, and we're advised not to tell them, and I know I shouldn't be, but sometimes they keep pestering me and I feel so pressured, and sometimes I want to tell them, but I know that I shouldn't be. There are also those activities after school that they host. And sometimes I'm not allowed to go to some of them. So sometimes my friends want me to go, and it's kind of hard for me to say no. And I don't know what to do.
So you feel a lot of pressure at school for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
All right. So same question to you. In the coming days, what are some things that you would like to work on in your Christian life?
I think I'd like to get closer to God. I feel like I think that I need to have a better relationship with Him and get a lot closer to Him so that I feel really comfortable telling Him all my problems, and I have somebody to talk to, and I'm not like afraid to talk to Him as a friend.
I think many of us can relate to that in one way or another. Same question again, another one. If you could ask the church body for one request, what would that be?
It'd probably be that they would pray for me so that I would make good spiritual decisions and life decisions that and that God will guide me through the right path.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, all of you guys for sharing with us today. So hopefully, as the audience and people watching on TV, if you guys could just take into account all the different needs that our next generation is facing, and take the time to think about what it is that they will need to be able to move on into that next step in their life. So that's it for today. That's our episode. Next week, join us as, in case we missed it the first time, we'll talk about how God can use us as donkeys. All right. Thank you.